Welcome back. It's time for Real World, Real People. I've got Ed Gemmell here tonight. He's the leader of the Climate Party. So you're a new one for us, Ed, on this show. So I want to ask you a question. I'm not being rude. I want to ask you a really basic question. How did you become a tree hugger?
Well, I'm not sure I'd actually call myself a tree hugger at all, but if you want to know how the journey started,
yes, the journey, come on.
I mean, mine was pretty specific. I mean, in the third week of June 2019, and a bit of context here, so I'm a single father for the last 14 years, brought up my kids completely on my own since they were 2 and 4. Yep. They would have been about 11 and 12 at this moment in time in June 2019, and I had a dream. And in my dream, my 2 children, now adults, they're returning back to our house in Buckinghamshire wearing army uniforms.
Wow.
Combat trousers, berets, green bags. They open the door, come in, put their bags down, and they come into the living room where they see me sitting having a coffee or whatever it would be there, and they go, "Papa, we just come back from Europe where we're shooting people to stop them getting the drinking water." And they say, "We could be killed, but we've got great flak jackets, equipment from the British Army and big guns, and we're killing the poorer people who have smaller guns to stop them getting the drinking water in order that you and other people like you in Britain can continue to live in the luxury lifestyles that you've enjoyed for the last decade."
Whereabouts is this, Ed?
Well, this is, I'm at home, but I mean, their dream,
where were they?
They're saying they were in Europe.
Yeah, where?
So there was no, I mean, in my dream, it was just, we've come back from Europe, as I remember it. And then after saying that, they look at me and they both point and they go, "Papa, you knew about this, didn't you, 20 years ago? And what did you do about it?" Yeah. And I woke up, tears coming down my face, mouthing words, and I was mouthing the words, and it was, "Look, I've got to look after you. I've got a job, I've got a mortgage." And then I just used a word I can't use on TV, and I went, "That."
It all sounds a bit Greta Thunbergish, this does. This sort of dream, this sort of...
It was a wake-up call, and effectively what it is, then I read a lot more about it. I looked into the thing, and then I have worked on climate change ever since then.
Hello, I'm Bev Turner. Now, it can feel like the money in our bank accounts at the moment does not keep up with the cost of living, and maybe there's a solution. I'm here today with the CEO of TallyMoney, Cameron Parry. Cameron, what is TallyMoney?
Well, Bev, with TallyMoney, you get a current account and a debit card, but instead of pounds, you use milligrams of gold as your everyday money.
So why gold?
Gold traditionally is a great store of value. It has, on average, gone up at over 11% per annum for the last 25 years against the pound. It's tripled in value in the last decade. And in the last 2 years alone, it's increased by 50% against the pound. Banks' savings products just can't compete with that level of growth.
But this isn't just about gold. This is about a currency that you guys have created at TallyMoney. Explain it to me as though I'm an idiot.
So, look, people need to be able to hold their earnings and build their savings in a money that retains its value and remains in their legal control and remains theirs to access, away from government control.
Great. You had me at not exposed to government control.
You should feel safe and happy with your money. You should have peace of mind the more money you see in your bank balance, and that's the type of thing we're trying to deliver and give people choice in the type of money they get to use every day.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Cameron. Thank you.
And all of the derivations of it. And the Climate Party and my work on it, which started...
So is the planet getting hotter or colder?
The planet is getting hotter. The last 11 years have been the hottest on record since records began.
Yeah.
Yes, we know millions of years ago and things.
Can I ask you a question, Ed? And I've asked another Ed this question, I think 3 times in the chamber.
Right.
Never answered me once. I'm talking about Ed Miliband. He's not here to defend himself, by the way.
Right.
But maybe you can. If we became net zero tomorrow in this country, in the UK, by how much would it reduce the Earth's temperature by?
Can I do exactly what you're accusing Ed Miliband of doing?
No, I want an answer.
That's right. What's it going to reduce the temperature by?
Of the planet, yeah.
We are 2% of world emissions if you include everything we import. We're 1% of world emissions if we don't. If you don't include what we import. So if we do that, we reduce the emissions by 1%. But what we do at the same time, we put £20 billion a week onto our economy because we will lead by far this new clean industrial revolution. And at the moment, you have two growth areas in the world, AI deep tech, people talk about all the time, and the net zero and sustainability. And they've both been growing at massive rates.
But we're importing fracture gas from America. We're importing LPG, we're importing coal, we're importing all sorts of energy, oil from all around the world. Basically, we're exporting our carbon footprint and saying, oh, look at us, look how green we are.
Yeah, I think one thing is energy and one thing is all the other things that we import as well. On the other things, for a second, that's all the stuff we've been importing from China for 50 years. You know, we've been exporting our jobs, our money, our industry to China for 50 probably years
we know
or
that.
longer.
We know that.
In terms of energy, what we've done is we've been completely negligent in the past about what we should have been doing to build up Britain's energy and our opportunity for exports. We can come on to the North Sea as part of it in a second if you like, but where we have absolutely been negligent, tidal power, we have ignored it. So we knew 30 to 35 years ago that this could be the biggest opportunity. There are studies showing that in the UK, we could do 20 gigawatts of power from tidal, and at the moment, as you and I sit here, we're using about 35. So it could do almost 60%
But isn't it sensible,
of our power.
though, Ed? Isn't it sensible to have a good mix of power supplies, if you like, energy supplies, a mix of renewables, wind, solar, wave, and fossil fuels as well? I mean, look at China, for example. They're leading the world on renewables. They're actually selling us windmills, wind turbines, which were made in China, probably produced by electricity that's been made by coal.
Yep. Well, I mean,
and it's nonsense.
Completely nuts. So what you've got is China doing more solar last year than the whole of the rest of the world, installing more wind than everybody in the world. It's the main exporter of batteries, the rare earth metals and minerals we need, the parts for the wind turbines, solar panels, all of it.
So have they got it right, China?
They got it right 15 years ago when they decided we can make a hell of a lot of money out of it, and that's
so why can't we do that?
We can, but we don't. What we do, firstly, we have leadership that is weak, unambitious, and not prepared for the future, and it looks at something 6 months, maybe a year or two down the line, and not at stuff 5 or 10 years down the line.
So we can have our home-produced coal, gas, oil, and our renewable sector work together in tandem till we transition.
That's absolutely not what I said, and I understand where you're going with it. That's not what I said. But what we can be doing is we can be leading in what is one of the two industrial opportunities of the world. 25% of the world economy.
So should we be fracking gas in this country?
Absolutely not. Don't be mad.
Should we be mining coal in this country?
No, of course we shouldn't.
So why are we buying frack gas from America?
Because what we are not doing is we're not doing enough of the renewables. We're not doing enough of the storage. And we are not going. What we should have been doing is doubling down instead of outsourcing to China for all those years. Double down on it and do it here.
So if we're going to use gas in this country, which we are doing, wouldn't it be better to frack our own and import it from the US?
Well, first thing is it'd be better if we weren't using gas and we were already using tidal power, wind power, wave power, nuclear, whatever else, all the other things that we could be doing instead. So that's the first thing. But the second part of it is we have to be not emphasising our gas and emphasising
Sound like a politician.
And sounding out. And all,
you are a politician.
I hate to call myself a politician. What I'm trying to do is make sure that in the UK, my kids have a future economically, because Britain's leading the world, putting $1 trillion onto our economy every year by actually leading in the clean industrial revolution, rather than going backwards, doing the old stuff. And let's just, in terms of the oil and gas, because it's very interesting on this, you've got America at the moment who are doubling down, drill baby drill and all this sort of thing. You've got Trump talking about climate change as a hoax. And then he's even saying to us in that interview with Bev Turner from GB News only a week ago, he's even saying, stop doing this net zero stuff in Britain, stuff your windmills, don't do it, it's a stupid thing to do. Why is he saying it? He is the world's top salesman in the country that produces more oil and gas than anywhere else in the world, the third largest exporter, who's got reserves going out 50 or 60 years.
But actually, Ed,
and what's he going to do?
We could be self-sufficient on oil and gas.
No, we couldn't. Yes, no, we've got a dwindling supply, becoming more expensive to get out. And if
we've just found a gas field in Lincolnshire that could supply us with gas for 10 years.
But it's more expensive.
But Ed, our 8 minutes is up. We could have gone on and on for the next hour. Yes, I'm glad it's over, actually, because it's getting a little bit heated. But no, it's great to have you on the show, mate. We're going to get you back on the show to have a debate with somebody else rather than me chipping in all the time. But good luck with the politics. I sincerely hope you don't have too many more dreams like that, because that shatters my dreams. But Ed Gemmell, leader of the Climate Party, thanks for coming.